Every legend begins somewhere, and not every beginning is glamorous. Some start in the shadows, some begin with heartbreak, and some are born out of complete failure. But here's the truth that most people miss. Failure doesn't mean the end. Sometimes failure is the spark that lights the fire of greatness. This is the story of a man who lost it all and built a fortune from the ruins. Welcome to Fearless Motivation, where we don't just tell stories, we awaken belief. It was the summer of 1997, and Michael Carter had just watched everything he worked for crumble in front of him. His tech startup, once full of promise, had collapsed. Investors pulled out, friends disappeared, his bank account was empty, and worse, so was his spirit. He sat in a worn-down coffee shop in Chicago, staring blankly into a cold cup of coffee, wondering how it had all gone wrong. He was 29, broke and broken. Michael had done everything right, or so he thought. He graduated from a top university, worked 80-hour weeks, pitched to every VC he could get in front of, but it didn't matter. Timing, market crash, betrayal, whatever the cause, the result was the same: failure. And in America, where success is often worn like a badge, failure can feel like a scarlet letter. For weeks, Michael didn't leave his apartment. Depression wrapped itself around him like a heavy blanket. He ignored calls, skipped meals, avoided mirrors. Until one morning, August 18th to be exact, he stumbled across an old journal his father had given him years ago. Inside, written in fading ink, were 6 words that would change his life. "Rock bottom is where champions rise." That line hit him hard, not because it was poetic, but because it was real. For the first time in weeks, Michael felt something stir. Maybe he hadn't failed. Maybe he'd just been forged. What if this was the beginning, not the end? With nothing left to lose, he started again. Not with money, not with investors, but with a notepad, a library card, and a relentless hunger. He studied everything: finance, leadership, psychology, resilience. He worked part-time jobs, stocking shelves at night, driving delivery routes during the day. Every free moment he poured into learning, and every setback he saw as data, not defeat. One night, while helping a small business digitize their files, he saw an opportunity. Most small businesses were still buried in paper. What if he could create a software tool, simple, affordable, cloud-based, that could bring them into the future? He didn't have the money to build it, but he had the idea, and this time, he had the wisdom that comes only from failure. Michael partnered with a freelance coder he met online, offering a share of potential profits instead of pay. He maxed out a $1,200 credit card to buy a domain and launch a basic version. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. And slowly, word spread. One client became 3. 3 became 10. 10 turned into 100. By 2004, that tool, called Cloud Bridge, was being used by over 5,000 small businesses across the country. By 2010, it was valued at over $75 million. And by 2015, Michael Carter, the man who once stared into a cold coffee cup wondering if he had any worth left, sold Cloud Bridge for a staggering $1.1 billion. But that's not what makes this story powerful. What matters is not the billion-dollar exit, but the journey. The nights of doubt, the meals skipped to pay rent, the failures, the rejections, the moments of complete and utter hopelessness. Because that's where most people give up, but not Michael and not you. Michael often says, "Failure taught me more than any victory ever could." He doesn't hide from his past, he honors it, because without it, he never would have built a life worth living. Today, he mentors young entrepreneurs, donates millions to mental health initiatives, and speaks around the world about resilience, grit, and the real American dream. Not the one made of yachts and jet setting, but the one built on grit, heart, and relentless belief. So if you're watching this right now and you feel like you failed, good. That means you're on the edge of something powerful. Maybe you've lost your job. Maybe your business collapsed. Maybe people laughed at your dream. Let them. Because rock bottom isn't your grave. It's your foundation. This isn't just Michael Carter's story. It's your story. It's every person who's ever been told, You're not good enough. It's every dreamer who's been laughed at. It's every fighter who's had to start again. Because on the other side of failure is fortune. Not just money, but purpose, legacy, and freedom. Here at Fearless Motivation, we believe your story's not over. In fact, it's just getting started. You were built for the comeback. You were made to rise. And if today feels like the end, let it be the beginning instead. Like this video if it spoke to your heart. Subscribe for more powerful stories that light a fire inside you. Share it with someone who needs to be reminded. Failure is not final. You are not done. You are just getting started. This is Fearless Motivation.